Good Thursday morning to everyone. I'm your friend Scotty Ray as we begin today. 66 right now. We'll make it to about 73, and we do have the severe chance of weather today. We'll tell you all about that. It's that eastern side of Mississippi where it joins Alabama that has gone to a level 2. That includes Clark, Lauderdale, Kemper, Noxubee County, and Lowndes County, bordering there on the edge of Alabama. And then as you get on into Alabama, it will be a level 3 serious weather to our east. So think of them. The possibility of here developing and getting worse the further east it goes today. We'll look at radar. We'll have a complete look at that. We have several things to discuss this morning in a few moments. We have someone missing that we need your help locating out of the Meridian area. We'll tell you all about that in a few moments as well. Hope you'll pitch in and keep your eyes open for them, as awful to have someone missing. We'll bring you the news on that in just a moment. Plus, we'll tell you about some burglaries that have gone on overnight. A little bit of everything. We've got all the headlines and the latest things that are happening in the Meridian area right here. Right now, let's go out to Collinsville this morning. See what Brother Sizemore has to tell us. I think it's about fishing. Yeah, we all like that. Let's see what he has to say this morning.
I enjoy fishing, but I've never been fishing where I used a net to catch all kinds of fish. Commercial fishermen cast their nets where they know there are a lot of fish, and they drag those nets in. When they get the nets in, they separate the fish. The ones that meet the standard are kept, and the ones that do not are thrown back or thrown away. In Matthew 13, 47 through 50, Jesus says the kingdom of heaven is like this. Its influence is far-reaching, and many will come when the gospel is shared, but only those who respond in faith to the gospel will be saved and have an eternal home in heaven. Those whose hearts remain hard and reject God's gift of salvation through Jesus Christ will be judged. Jesus said in Matthew 13, 49 and 50, the angels will come and separate the wicked from the righteous and throw them into the fiery furnace where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. What a terrible reality for those who do not trust Christ. They will be separated from God in a place called hell. This is why we invite everyone to call on the name of Jesus in faith and be saved. Have you responded in faith and trusted Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior? Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. Always a great message for all of us. We're learning this morning that there is one vehicle, we'll call it a accident or mishap. Yeah, let's pull this up where you can take a look at this morning of where we are. This is going to be near NAS Meridian, just off of Stennis Drive. It will be on Rabbit Road. An SUV is off in the ditch this morning. If you happen to travel this way into work, giving you a clearer picture, here this is. Johnson Stennis Drive going up to NAS. Be just to the east of there, Rabbit Road. So if you travel that way to work, you'll run into the police there this morning, taking care of the situation. I want to say Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department on scene. They'll be having a wrecker there before long. So keep that in mind if you travel that way to work. As we mentioned, we have, let me pull this up so we can show this really good. We have a missing young lady in the city limits of Meridian. And we posted this just a few moments ago. And I got word of it 4 o'clock this morning. This happened yesterday afternoon. Let's pull this up. This is Miss Myra Lewis. She is age 65. She's a black female. She was last seen near Highland Baptist Church around 4 p.m. yesterday. That's the 2300 block of 35th Avenue is where she lives. She was wearing a gray hat, blue jeans, a long sleeve shirt, and I think it had some stripes in it, if I'm not mistaken. She does suffer from dementia. If you happen to see her anywhere, any shape, form, please let someone know. There's a bigger picture of that. Maybe you can catch a glimpse of her, and we can get this young lady home. There's nothing more frightening than if this is a family member of yours, and now we're several hours into this in the overnight hours, and daylight is coming and she's not been found. We hope this has a wonderful turnout on that. But on your way to work, if you've got a few minutes, ride through the area and see if you can find her, especially if you live in that area. Tell police if you saw something. That's helpful. Maybe you saw her last night. It would give them a lead as to where she might be. I know they scoured the neighborhoods far and wide last night. And let's hope that she is found soon. That's what we pray for. So keep that in your thoughts and prayers this morning as you go about your way. We'll talk about that again this morning at 8 o'clock on the show. Let's see what else we had. We had some promotions in Meridian. Always good to see somebody do better and go up the ladder, isn't it? As we pull this up, we go to the Meridian Fire Department. Brandon Barr and Rocky Godwin both have been promoted to captain, effective yesterday. So congratulations to them. Big step in their career. Glad for them. We're going to be getting a few jobs if you've been noticing all the work to the old bakery, or maybe you want to call it the old Hooper's building. We got the note yesterday that this will bring in the end about 56 jobs to Meridian. All that construction, they're building a shoe manufacturing plant right here in Meridian. That's good. A lot of jobs that will help us as you'll look at that. Known that building for quite some time. I remember it as a kid, and I think most of you will too. They used to put the Santa Claus in the sleigh out there. It always meant Christmas was coming. I don't know what become of that, but it was a part of my childhood. I remember it well. Yesterday afternoon, we would find out that a home was struck with gunfire. We see it a lot. It happened again yesterday as we pull this up. This would be in the 1600 block of 5th Street, not far from All Around Pool and Spas. If you take that way into downtown Meridian, if you take that right and go that way to downtown Meridian, a home was struck, went through the window, knocked out the glass pane. No one was hit, thank heavens. Still happened, though, didn't it? As we look at this, we also found out that we had 2 overnight burglaries. We'll get deeper into this morning. 8th Street. If you're watching me and you happen to own a business on 8th Street, I highly suggest checking it thoroughly, making sure your cameras don't show you anything. And if you see something, contact police so this will help solve what we have this morning. We've had 2 tire shops robbed or burglarized. Let me back up on that. Burglarized overnight. We do not know what was taken at this point. As we watch this, as this develops, we'll add to this story today. But there's always someone who's wanting something for nothing, isn't it? We see a lot of that. We'll talk about the gunfire and the different things that have gone on overnight as well this morning, coming up at 8 o'clock. I hope you'll join us. Also, Meridian's going to host, as we posted this story, as we got this news yesterday, the Pastor Association's Fall Conference is going to be held in Meridian. Always good for that. Brings people to our town, our area, not only to the Meridian area. They visit other surrounding counties as well. Always good. Yesterday, we talked about a lady that was wanted in connection with a missing truck, and somebody that was found in a hotel room passed away. They've made an arrest of this. A 39-year-old woman was wanted for the questioning. They have stopped her, and we'll see what becomes of this. Forest County is where all that went down. Nothing like getting in your truck and leaving somebody behind in the motel room you were in, deceased, is it? No one's been charged with murder. We'll see what becomes of that. Crystal Springs. Second person has been arrested for a murder that happened a while back. In Crystal Springs, a teenager was killed. The second and final person was arrested in this. A 25-year-old was arrested out of Jackson. Mr. Barnes has been arrested in connection with that. And again, innocent until proven guilty before a court of law. We'll see how that turns out. We have 2 people that were shot in the Jackson, Mississippi area this week. They were at the gas station. They got shot. Happens a lot in Jackson, Mississippi. We had 133 murders there last year. A lot of them. Vicksburg, it's no different either. A 17-year-old was recently shot there this week at an apartment complex. No arrests have been made yet on that. Happened around 7 p.m. A little early for shootings, but they did that. Awful. We do see this also as we start looking at COVID. I keep hearing, I'm sure you are too throughout the state of Mississippi, that this is on the rise again. We keep hearing things, China spreading. We've had our first infant death in the state of Mississippi since February of last year. Now, they're not telling us much at all about it other than an infant has passed away from COVID symptoms. That's all we know at this point. Hopefully they'll give us more information and we'll be able to tell you more. But right now, that's what we got. Pray for that family. That has to be an awful thing to deal with. A silver alert has been canceled, as we found out from our friends Over at Dark Horse Press, a lady had been missing since December. They found her body in a burning home in the Jackson area. How awful that is. Columbus, we all go there from time to time. Anybody watching from that area? They've arrested a lady for getting into an argument with a man. She's arrested. She stabbed him. He's going to be all right, but she still got mad enough to cut him. We also see in Lowndes County, there was a wreck day before yesterday there that happened. They've identified the young lady that passed away in that accident, a 40-year-old Summer Yarbrough. She passed away she was a passenger in a car that ran off the road and struck a tree. Condolences to those family members as well. What happens when, your girlfriend's leaving you? You just can't stand to see her go. She's the love of your life. What do? You're in Brookhaven, Mississippi. Well, you do what everybody else would do there. Grab your AR and just fire into the air. Try to make her stop. Maybe that'll make her quit leaving. It didn't. He got arrested for shooting in the air in the city. But he did make his last stand, didn't he? Love makes people do some crazy things, is all I can tell you. Oklahoma, I'm not sure if y'all are up to date on this, as we have someone missing in the Meridian area. Oklahoma is looking for a 4-year-old that come up missing. They're doing everything absolutely they can to find that missing child. Cyril, if I'm pronouncing that right, Cyril, did I pronounce that right? I'm close. Hopefully I did that. Little girl been missing for several days now. Hope she is found safe. We all do. Nothing like putting out information from the Navy that says, hey, we're a little scared that we're running low on ammo in case we got into a problem. We've been giving everything to Ukraine. We could run out in the next 6 months. Something about that tells me we should have just kept that to ourselves. That's just me, though. Let's see what's happening else around the... we'll just save that to 8 o'clock. That makes me mad. It makes me want to tell somebody a thing or two of some of the stories that happen across America of right and wrong. There's no blurs in that. We got a lot to do this morning coming up at 8 o'clock. I hope you'll be here. Candace will be here. This will be her final week as she winds things down. Tomorrow will be her last day. We'll have a new co-host beginning on Monday. We're moving to a new time. The 8 o'clock show Monday will be moved to 7 a.m. I hope you'll join us and be a part of it. We're going to check that weather and tell you all about what's going on here in the Meridian area, what to expect with weather. That's weather. That's next this morning. Y'all stay with us. We'll be right back. Precast Group, offering you the best selection when it comes to a storm shelter. Located on 145 South in Meridian, where they offer above-ground shelters that can be installed in your home as you're built in, are conveniently located right outside your home if it's already built. They also offer storm shelters that can be installed in a slight bank or on flat ground. Protect your family today with a very affordable storm shelter from the Precast Group. Highway 145 South, 601-482-0003. The Precast Group. Chuck Sanders wanted me to remind you that he also sells air conditioners along with those nice gas logs for those hot January days. Drop by and see a brand new cooling system they've got for you at Sanders Gas. It's hot enough for it today. There's a lot of people that's going to be running their air conditioners as we get into the 70-degree weather. First off, before we get into what the National Weather Service tells us today, let's dive into what we know, what we've got right here in front of us, and this has just been expanded in the last 10 minutes. So our threat has gotten bigger as I look at this. Where it was just barely Lauderdale County in a level 2, they've expanded this now. Let's pull this up so everybody can take a look at what the National Weather Service gives us now. And here we go as we pull this up. A few moments ago, it was just barely Lauderdale County right through these areas here. Now they've expanded this all the way back west to Scott County. Now, if you live in this area here, this is a level 2. We'll look at this right here of what's going on here. And we do have a tornado warning. Let's turn this off and deal with this first and tell you about it. Let's turn off this severe weather so we can see what this is doing. If you're watching us north, this was just issued a few moments ago. Let me see if we can read this and see what's going on. A tornado warning has been issued for central Monroe County in northeastern Mississippi until 7:15. Radar indicated a thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado near Aberdeen is moving east at 45 miles an hour. Y'all be careful in those areas as we look at this. A lot of storms developing here as we'll look at this. Here's Columbus. This is just north of there, just south of Amory as we look at this. There's Aberdeen. This is all around Aberdeen. If you're in that area this morning, take shelter now. This is a serious tornado warning. This will be at the Quincy area, Wise Gap, also Mormon Springs. It will be there in the next few moments. Let's look at this, of where this is. This is the split after you take that going toward Starkville. This is the 45 alternate. As we look at this, this is Highway 8, Mississippi 8, right there at the Aberdeen area. If you're going to be along those areas, here's the regular Highway 45. This is alternate to the west. This is regular 45. It's going to be crossing it in the next few moments. Again, a 3.9 on the scale of what we rate this tornado warning here. We also have storms that are building back to the west of there. This is going to be affecting the areas of Gibson, Egypt, Mississippi. I'm sure each of you have driven through there and said, Egypt, Mississippi. That's where all these storms are right now as we pass down through here. This will be northwest of Louisville area. Kosciuszko has serious storms. As you see, these storms are building at Vicksburg, moving northeasterly throughout the state, will make their way into Alabama. Again, all of this area here, level 2. We're now getting a severe thunderstorm warning in the Jackson, Mississippi area as we see that Leake, Rankin, Scott County, and Hinds County, Madison, now under a severe thunderstorm warning until 7:45 this morning. Serious storm, something to watch. That's a lot of rain coming down with this. If you look at this watch box, here's Scott County. It will just barely get this northwest corner here. Folks around Lena, due west of Carthage, it's not there yet, but Canton, Mississippi, under the gun with this severe thunderstorm warning that is fast approaching. Now, again, we have one tornado warning that is due north of us in the Aberdeen area, south of Amory, Mississippi. If you're in that area this morning for any reason, take cover. Very serious. As we look to our east, this is going to be bad. These areas here will be a level 3. We're at a level 2 here. Let's turn this back on as we look at what's happening here across the area. Again, this is today. Let's look at our areas of where this picks up. Utah, Alabama, Demopolis, Alabama. Y'all are in the bullseye of this horrible weather today. Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Birmingham, y'all are a level 3 all the way over to Talladega, taking in Montgomery, Alabama. This will move east on into Georgia. Peachtree City, all the way over here, Athens, right up to the South Carolina border. So, and it actually does go into South Carolina a little bit there around Anderson, South Carolina, Westminster, some areas right along in this area there. Lakemont, Georgia, right there. So a lot of concern as we look at this. Already tornado warnings in the state of Mississippi this morning as we begin this day. Again, no matter what, we'll be here behind the scenes tracking all this throughout the day. Should it become serious in our area, we'll go live and track every bit of this for you. But if you're sitting at home right now thinking, how do I need to dress today? What do I do? Serious weather out to our west. Heavy rains, and as you'll see here in the Natchez area, although this is going to go northeast to the Meridian area, most likely affect Philadelphia and right on up through Winston County. Meridian will get this stuff that's back building here around Natchez, and this will come through this area a little bit later. Serious weather. We always take it as serious as we can to pass you along the most accurate information that is happening with all of that. All right, let's get deeper into this and show you what the National Weather Service tells us for today that we're well aware of as we track these storms.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
We go back on this, and our record highs, record lows. 79 was our high in 17. Not all that long ago. Well, yeah, that's 6 years now. Whoa. 1962, we had a low of 0. Brr. As we look to today, 71 is what the thermometer says we'll get. 69 in Philadelphia as we go on up through Columbus, 69 and somewhere around 68 as you go through Starkville, that area south of here, Hattiesburg, 72. Natchez, a little bit cooler, 68 as we go east into Bama, Tuscaloosa. And again, as I said, Tuscaloosa, y'all be on the lookout. Anywhere here, Demopolis, Alabama, this is a level 3 as we look at severe weather today. Now, this is, and again, this has been expanded. This is going all the way over here now. The National Weather Service changed this just a second ago. And this weather will happen by 3 p.m. And I want to say I have that handy of what the National Weather Service put out. I think I got that up a moment ago. I think. Better yet, I can pull it up directly from the National Weather Service so that we will have exactly what they've got showing today. Yeah, they have not updated their page. Go ahead and say that. They'll catch up in just a little bit. They do it different times of the day, but we're up to date on what we've got, and it has been expanded for the west toward Jackson. What we look at, strong winds today. To flip some buttons to get back to my page here. This is what we've got showing for winds today. Philadelphia, Louisville, y'all will get a lot of this wind. Also just west of Macon. Macon downtown, you'll get some winds as well. Gusts of 30 to 40 miles an hour. Sustained winds of 20 to 25 throughout the day. Now, this can cause weather and limbs to break. It takes out your power, doesn't it? As we look at this, this is where it gets very serious here as we see this level 3 here, as we mentioned, Tuscaloosa. This means we got some serious stuff here. A tornado or two is very possible with quarter-size hail in those areas. Winds, gusts, damaging winds up to 70 miles an hour through those areas there. Again, from back here over to the Meridian area to Scott County is going to be a level 2. Be cautious, be weather alert today. Still warm. We are starting to finally see a cold front developing there in California. Maybe it'll make its way and cool down the south just a little bit as we look at the 7-day outlook brought to our friends at Wilson Saw and Outdoor. 72 today, 43 tomorrow. What a total difference. We were sitting at 49 originally. As this rain moves out, it will get cold, but it will quickly jump back up. We'll have a very cold Saturday morning, 27. It should be great for deer hunting, though. 50 is all we'll get Saturday. We're back to 60 on Sunday, and then back to warm weather again of what we see here going into next week, 71 there. We go another week. We start to see 50s toward the end of January, about the 22nd. We're back down to 58, 59. Still warm weather leading up to that. Tomorrow, by far, is going to be our coldest day in the near future. I hope you will watch that and monitor that. As we look at our fishing calendar today, we go to Chet's Paint and Body. He lets us know that 10:30 today to 12:30 is the best time to go fishing. Again, that wind is going to be southwest around 15 with gusts of up to 30. That'll mess up your line. You'll get a crow's nest, as they call it when you're out fishing. Backlash, however you want to word it. Deer hunting today, first major time is going to be, let's see, right there at dark. It's going on now through about 7 if you're already in the stand watching. But your next best time will be right there at dark 30. So that's our fishing and hunting. Collinsville Meats bringing us that, letting us know when to go to there. Now let's go back quickly and take a look at radar, make sure nothing has changed, as we all know how radar can quickly, in a moment's notice, change. Let me go back here. Almost there. Let's pull this back up so you can take a sneak peek. Here we go. We still have this tornado warning that is due north of us near Amory. Right there, Aberdeen is where it is this morning. The worst of this is just to the east of Aberdeen at this point. If you're watching this morning from those areas, you need to be in your safe place if you're along Highway 45, north of Columbus here, around Aberdeen, being your safe place all the way to the Bama state line. Be careful, be careful. We move down, we see that showers are moving in through Ackerman, McCool, Mississippi. Kosciuszko has a lot of rain, and we have several thunderstorm warnings that have developed just north of Jackson. Expect more of this. We've got a lot of counties included in this. As we went over those a minute ago, we've got Leake, Rankin, Scott, Hines, and also Madison County in this severe thunderstorm warning until later today. Until 7:15. Again, we've got this developing, which will move through the Meridian area a little bit later on. All of this will be occurring. It's not right now. This will most likely move to the Philadelphia area. So wherever you are, make sure to carry your umbrella. You're going to need it today. Drive slower. If you're to the west of us, you're already in this. It's making its way to our northern portion of the viewing area from here. As always, drive careful. Take care of yourself. And we'll be back in 1 hour from now. We'll be all over this to let you know what the weather is going to do throughout it as it happens. God bless, and I'll see you soon. Candace will be back. 8 o'clock is where it all begins this morning. See you then.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: